We're live again. Hey, everybody. It is Wednesday, 11 a.m. Eastern. Ready to do this again. I got a cool one today. I've had a couple of recent conversations about feedback, and I've watched a couple of really cool videos about it to see how some friends of mine, some people that I like, know and like and trust, how they handle certain things. And, it got me thinking about how I handle feedback. And I literally just got a DM from a client slash colleague slash friend, probably 30 minutes ago now, maybe an hour ago, concerned about some feedback that we got from a third party. And, it's really fascinating to think about how we handle feedback. And I've gotten lots of feedback over the years. I mean, as a designer, art director, creative director for the last almost 30 years now, I get how hard it can be, but I've probably banged out 1,000 projects and I've gotten harsh feedback, and I've given harsh feedback, and I'm not great at being harsh. I'm probably too empathetic, but I understand. I've seen people throw fits. I get it, dude. It's crazy sometimes the things that people will ask you to do, but it's not indicative at face value of what's really going on. And I think it's easy to get in our head and forget that. Um, you know, if the client or a colleague or a stakeholder is asking for something that, we think is nuts sometimes, or it's crazy, or they just don't get it, it's easy to blame them that maybe they don't understand. And look, communication is the job. We might have a business we're running. We might have a startup. We might have a special skill that we want to take to market. We might do any number of things. Even as a designer, being a great designer is itself not the job. You have a business to run, and businesses require sales, account service, project management, bookkeeping, all kind of things that come way before being good at our craft. And that's just facts of the matter. You don't have to be a good designer. You don't have to be good at marketing. You just have to be good at running a business, because the job is to stay in business first. That's job number one. Job number two, make everybody happy. Do the thing. Commit, follow through, the whole shebang. And okay, that turned out to be a bit of a soapbox. But look, I've worked with all kinds of people. I've been upset by feedback. I've upset people with feedback. I've worked with team members. I've hired people. I have fired people. I have, unfortunately, and I have a lot of clients. And over the years, I've had many clients. Some people are bossy, and I've worked for some like that. And some people are quiet. Some people are micromanagers. Other people are really terrible. Maybe could be better at micromanaging, not be so high level, right? Some people are opinionated. Some people are unopinionated. It sucks on either end of that spectrum. But feedback doesn't have to hurt. It literally can't hurt my feelings anymore, because I kind of see what's going on. And here's my process for feedback, for taking feedback. And I get a lot of feedback because we make a lot of websites. I never accept feedback initially at face value. Be patient and identify patterns in the feedback. What happens is a lot of people try to solutionize for you, and that's where we trip. So a single solution may not scale. And meanwhile, other times, anything that is like a specific input or solution that's being requested, if you start seeing a pattern, that's not the actual asks, right? There's a macro issue. Some other thing needs to be tweaked, and it negates all of the requests, right? If you get feedback on typography that, capitalize this, capitalize this, capitalize this, maybe we need to create a rule that says we're using title casing instead of sentence casing, or maybe we were supposed to go all caps, and that's a really micro example, but it's important to see the pattern first, and then we can decide how to move forward with that, whether it needs to be renegotiated or we need to level set expectations. Sometimes that's the case. Like I said, job number one is communication. Or maybe we need to execute on it and create that rule and let that cascade throughout the work. And other times, you have to say no. You have to explain. You have to say, let me talk to you about what's going on here. And I think we can get on the same page, and then we'll both have a better understanding as to whether or not this thing needs to be changed or needs to shift. And you know what? Sometimes you got to eat a big old pile of crow, because good old-fashioned ideas just need to be things that we jump on and get it done and get it out, because some things are not worth going back to the negotiation table for. It doesn't jeopardize anything, then rock it. If it does and it's not worth fighting for, that's rare. Sure, why not? So I'm not out here trying to be right all the time. That's not my job. I'm not interested in being right. And the point of the creative process is not itself to be right. So I don't attach myself to the work personally. I pour myself into the work, but I don't take it personal when I get feedback that says this sucks. Even if those weren't the words they used, I get that it can feel that way sometimes. The point of the creative process, in fact, is to be wrong. The entire point, we can't get better. We can't improve our work or ourselves if we're not wrong, and wrong often, because being wrong is how we grow. If we were right all the time and all we ever got was positive feedback, we would never change. We would never improve. We would never understand the granularity or the number of ways that things can be seen that help us from empathy, sympathy, and understanding of other environments and stakeholders. So being wrong is the entire point of all of this. It's not to be right. Get the work out. What's the old saying? Fail fast, fail often, or is it something like that? Excuse me a minute while I grab a beverage, because I'm verklempt. If someone is asking for something that seems kind of nuts, here's what I ask. Because it's not them. It's indicative of me. It means that there's something that I need to communicate clearly or more clearly earlier in the process in the future, so that there's a shared understanding of the outcome. And that alignment helps eliminate things that can be either a distraction or a pivot that is dramatic in some case. And I'm always looking to improve my process, to change the questions that I'm asking, to get in front of things so that I can have a deeper, more rapid, shared understanding of the outcome. And in that practice is how we get better. It's how I get better. So that's why, and I know it's so cheesy to say feedback is a gift, but it totally is. It is the best opportunity we have as lifelong learners to get better. Look, if you're not a lifelong learner, you're right, and you're 100% right about everything all the time, and you're convicted in that, then that's great too. Go. I think you'll find yourself alone in the future someday, but to me, I value feedback. So if you think this video sucked and I rambled on incoherently and you want to leave that in the comments, go for it. Knock yourself out. But if you like and subscribe and you want to watch the next video and I bang out some more cool ideas, then I like that even better. So do any of those three things: like, subscribe, leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. It has been really fascinating to see the effects, the feedback I've gotten from these videos. Rarely comes in the form of comments. Almost always comes in the form of direct messages on other platforms. So I don't know, maybe YouTube needs a DM feature or something like that so people don't have to go to LinkedIn or Slack or anything to say, hey, I caught your video. That was a pretty good point. Or, hey, caught your video. That was interesting. I love that. That's a negative feedback. And that means, maybe I could have done better. More detail would be nice. But, directional forces, man. I'm ready. So anyway, sun's blowing me out today. What is going on? I think I didn't alter my curtains because it's been overcast for like a week and a half. We've gotten a lot of rain in the Atlanta area. A lot. The last couple of weeks. So anyway, happy hump day. I will see you back here Friday, 11 a.m., ready to rock. That's 11 a.m. Eastern time. Ready to rock, ready to have another great topic and another conversation. So anyway, have a great rest of your week. That's kind of stupid. How about get a lot done the remainder of this week? We're running out of time. Hover over your most important thing. Lean into it. Get that shit done. And I'll see you back here Friday.